Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we bear witness to a clash like the flaming globes of Sigmund between the Viper playing as the Vietnamese in yellow and Hera playing as the Goths in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. The Vietnamese are a civilization that has access to two pretty damn cool archer units. The first is the Rattan Archer. This is the second fastest foot archer in the game that comes with a decent attack and a massive amount of pierce armor, making it very hard for enemy archers to kill it. The second is their other unique unit, the Imperial Skirmisher. Think of this as basically a better armored version of the Elite Skirmisher that comes with a higher attack and bonus against foot archers and cavalry archers. Now, if that wasn't enough, all units that come out of a Vietnamese archery range do come with 20% more HP. Now, to support their ranged units on the field of battle, the Vietnamese can turn to their elephants, which are the chunkiest battle elephants in the game, can be upgraded to get a massive 420 HP. Also, once they hit Imperial, they hit the ground running with in terms of production, since they get conscription free of charge. Now, to afford the cost of training their ranged units and their battle elephants, all economic upgrades cost no wood, and Vietnamese lumberjacks can be upgraded to generate a very small amount of gold while they jack their lumber. Now, unlike other civilizations in the game with features, bonuses, characteristics designed to protect them against raids, the Vietnamese, take a look at this, actually have a feature designed to help them raid better. I'm going to click on the line of sight of the Vietnamese. Take a look at this. They start the game knowing exactly where their opponent is located, which means they can send a scout this way ASAP and start exploring the enemy's base immediately. And if you're familiar with my casts, first of all, if you're not familiar with my casts, welcome. But if you're familiar with my casts, you know I'm a firm believer that information is power, knowledge is power, and knowing exactly where your opponent is, well, we'll just see how much the Viper makes use of that feature. Now, opposing our archer civilization, we've got a civilization designed to be the bane of every archer civilization. This is a very single-minded civilization, the Goths. They focus on one building and one building alone, the barracks. Their barracks start the game working 20% faster, can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, which is great because in Imperial, they do get 10 extra population space. And all of their units that come out of the barracks become progressively cheaper, all the way up to 35% cheaper in Imperial. Now, all Goth infantry, if the discount's not enough for you, they all come with a progressive attack bonus against buildings up to +3 in Imperial, which makes them pretty damn good at taking down castles, structures, etc. Now, the Goth barracks itself can also be upgraded to train the unique unit of the Goths. This is a unit that needs no introduction. If I told you that the Rattan Archer came with a crazy amount of pierce armor, I have to point out that the Huskarl also does as well. This is a medium, overall pretty decent infantry unit that comes with one very powerful skill set, Liam Neeson style, that basically kill archers. It comes with a big attack bonus against archers and base pierce armor that basically makes it immune from archer fire. Now, to support a big, hungry Gothic population, their hunters are stronger, carry more, and their hunt does last longer, and they research loom in under a second, which means they have time to make one extra villager before clicking up to Feudal if they so wish. By the way, take a look. The Viper doesn't need to guess where Hera is, making a straight beeline from his base after doing a little bit of a strudel shape to explore his immediate surroundings. We'll discover where the Goth is. Hera? Okay, an interesting strategy here. I wonder if he'll pivot left and he'll keep looking around for his immediate vicinity for relics, etc., or if he's just heading into the 12 o'clock position here. In any event, we'll see how quickly Hera sees his opponent. You guys know I think Hera is one of the best, if not the best, early game scouters, although with the Vietnamese bonus, the Viper here clearly out-scouting him. And look at them heading up to Feudal off the back of one more, or rather, or a Goth heading up to Feudal off the back of one extra villager. Like I said, with Loom being researched instantaneously, they can pump out one extra villager. And Hera seeing nothing in the 12 o'clock position, or actually no hint of anything at the 12 o'clock position. Let's see. Oh no, he's running. He ran by that house. Is he going to pivot a little to the left? In any event, let's leave Hera to his exploration as we explore the bases themselves. Our Vietnamese primary gold, nice and secure in the back. A bit of an annoying situation here. Can't really plop down a town center anywhere, so going to have to rely on mining camps to gather that gold. Primary stone a little bit in the front. Hera. Okay, let's take a quick break. He's going to discover. Okay, there we go. Discovers Viper's base completely open to the front. He's not walling yet. Uncharacteristic there by the Viper. Usually he's very quick to wall his opponents in, or at least trap them in some kind of snaky trap. In any event, like we saw, primary gold in the back, primary stone in the front, a few forests nearby. I like their locations. Pretty close, nothing too risque. And open in the front, which is why you see the Vipers creating a funnel as opposed to a full wall off. At the moment, no real need to create a full wall off. Nothing at this stage in the game at the 10-minute mark that can really threaten him. So a funnel where Hera would have to engage into town center fire, just as effective. Let's take a look at our Goth. Primary gold a little bit off to the side back position. So also kind of safe, a little less safe than the Vipers. Primary stone a lot more safe. A lot more safe. I think there's a better way of saying that. A lot safer than the Vipers. Only has 2 forests nearby, although they look much bigger than the forests that the Viper has nearby. And also his base, the forward portion of it, completely open. Looks like the Viper did manage to snipe this one poor hapless villager who just wanted to build himself a house. Viper says, nah, you are going to die. That is your fate. Dragon trees being cut down to make room for farms. Hera plugging up his flank here. His base is a lot more open than the Viper's. I like his stone pile position, but everything else for Hera, I would say disadvantage. Oh no, gets another villager, does the Viper. We'll get a third. Will he get a fourth? What the hell is happening? What the hell is going on right now? 4 villager kills for the Viper. Loses Scout. And that's all she wrote. Gets the hell out of Dodge here. Hera himself circling. Now says it's my turn. But the Viper knows what's what. Already has a spearman. Second one moving in. Oh, lucky placement of the second spearman. I shouldn't say lucky placement. Skillful placement of that spearman. Shoes away. And now the spearman should go and rest a little bit in the town center. Maybe get some ale. Maybe have a good night's sleep up here in the inn part of that town center. Neither team here, neither player willing to engage into the other at the moment. The Viper must be so happy with these 4 economic villager kills. That is going to set his opponent back quite a lot. And even though our Goth had a villager lead, clicking up to Feudal, it is now our Vietnamese who leads by 2 villagers and 1 army supply. The better army supply as well. 3 spearmen to 1, 7 scouts to 8. But it's those 3 spearmen. Although 1 only 11 HP. And the Viper just kind of hanging out here to the periphery of Hera's base. Now, I would be remiss to point out, if I didn't point out, the actual Civ struggle that we're going to see here. We saw recently the Mayans take on the Viper. Oh my goodness. I absolutely hate it when I make mistakes like that. But we've recently seen the Mayans take on the Goths. Spoiler alert, successfully. Mr. Yo with the Mayans. I mean, Mr. Yo, like I wrote in the video description, Mr. Yo must have been a plumed archer in a previous life. He absolutely must have been a plumed archer, because we've seen a number of games where he had control of the Mayans and his plumed archers were just absolutely devastating. So we saw the Goths kind of lose to a bit of a castle imperial rush out of Mr. Yo with plumed archers. The difference here is that rattan archers, unlike plumes, don't have any attack bonus against huskarls or infantry, which means that they don't do 2 damage. I believe they just do 1 damage. And their armor is all pierced. The rattan archer is an archer's archer, a real man's man. designed to kill other archers while taking little archer damage itself. Not too sure we're going to see archer play out of our Goth, but as always, the Goths have one big weakness. Although I shouldn't say one big weakness. Anyway, for dramatic effect, we're going to take some, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Literary, oh my God, artistic license. I swear I speak English. Oh my God, what the hell is that? Okay, the Viper pokes, Hera dies. We're going to take some artistic license and say the one big weakness of the Goths is if you can get them before they get their military up and running, then you can absolutely overwhelm them. And it looks like the Viper here with no fewer than 10 scouts with bloodlines. Oh goodness, 65 HP scouts against 45 HP scouts is pressing the issues, 15 kills to 9. If you can get the Goths quickly before they have time to get their infrastructure up, before they have time to get anarchy and perfusion and all of the upgrades they need to be able to pump out Huskarls in seconds out of their barracks, you can defeat them. Remember, Goths, one of the only two civilizations that doesn't have stone walls. The developers wanted them to be so offensive, so on the attack 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that they didn't even give them stone walls. They just have palisades. And unlike the Cumans, their palisades don't come with extra HP. They have the worst palisades, or rather the worst wall defense of any civ in the game. That being said, if Hera can get his economy and then eventually his military up and running, he will hit castle first, but no villagers on stone. Remember, the cool thing about the Italians, for example, is that in Imperial, you can begin training condottieri out of your barracks automatically. With the Goths, you actually have to research anarchy before you can do that. And then if you want to start pumping them out in, let's call it Cuman speed, then you need also to get perfusion. But when you get perfusion, man, one of these Gothic barracks replaces 3 generic barracks. So if you have 4 barracks pumping out Huskarls, it's the equivalent of having 12, maybe even 13 barracks for any other generic civilization. That's the insanity of the Goths. But like I said, if the Viper can hit here first, gets Viper walled out, and now the Spearman's gonna have a good time here. Will he get one? No, decides to back off, even though these scouts were kind of weak. But the Knights are out. Gates destroyed. Destroys the palisade here as well, so the Knight can go on the offensive. Hera says, you know what, I'm not too worried about 4 scout units with 90 HP. A few villagers can take care of these units. I'm just going to go on the counter offensive, and now 4 Knights out on the field of battle, a 5th and the 6th one on the way. Ark of the Covenant being lowered into its secret hidden compartment tells us that there is a monastery en route. Second town center going up for our Vietnamese as well. Now, I will say, unlike the Mayans, who have Eagle Warriors at, still at 100 HP with El Dorado, the Huskarl, I think, does come with, we saw, what was it, a +2 attack. Anything and everything in this game seems to come with an attack bonus against Eagles. On the other hand, the Vietnamese, if you push them, if you poke them, if you anger them enough, and if you make the Viper upset with you, you best believe there might be some Chatras elephants heading your way. And a 420 HP elephant versus a Huskarl, forget about it. Lion joins the fight. Knight's corner, surround it. But it looks like our Vietnamese is going cavalry archer. Remember, these guys have 20% more HP, but one thing to note, that 20% applies to the base HP, not to the extra with the bloodlines. The extra 20. So a Cav Archer should come with 50 HP, unless I'm completely mistaken and making shit up. A Cav Archer, generic Cav Archer, comes with 50% 50 HP. The extra 20% takes the Vietnamese Cav Archer to 60, and then Bloodlines takes them up to 80. So these aren't exactly Turkish cav archers with Sipahi and 100 HP, but they are pretty damn good at the moment. And it looks like the Viper is doubling down on cav archers. An interesting play here. You know, he says, yeah, I know I'm playing against the Goths. I've seen your base. I know you don't have walls. Palisades are not going to stand a long time against 14 cavalry archers that attack on an 8. Plus the gold being part of the wall off is now exposed. Anytime you use a resource like this, you have to be prepared for this kind of counter aggression. Another villager goes down. The only thing that the Viper, the Goth can do here is hope to close the distance with these knights. 1.49 speed to 1.54 means that these cav archers can absolutely run circles around the knights. And now they're here. Oh man, Hera is in a bit of trouble. He needs Huskarls. How the hell are you still alive? Where have you been the entire game? With the high ground, does get a villager here. Will he get a second? Oh my god, what a long-ass battle. Oh, one more swipe away. And here we go. If they can close the distance, the knights will shred these cav archers to pieces. So the Viper has to be careful here. He is not microing optimally right now. The knights have closed to the north. The knights have closed a little bit to the south. Now there's mangonels out as well. But I'm starting to get a little bit worried for our Goth. 17 cav archers with +2, now going to be +1 armor. These knights are at a +1/+1. There's a monk going for the relic, I'm assuming. 2 mangonels. Might want to add a few more. Oh, Scorpion. I don't know that the Scorpion is necessarily the right siege unit here. But let's see. Maybe I am absolutely wrong. Market going up at the 29-minute mark of the game for our Vietnamese, who now moves in. Has to be careful. Ballistic still just very few seconds away. Why is he engaging now? Hera babysitting that Scorpion. You guys know my opinion. Hera, the best babysitter in Age of Empires. He always has monks to heal his units, but sometimes the monks are exposed. Will the Viper see that? See it? No, he does not. Literally one tile away. Now he sees it. Hera loves healing up his units when they're not fighting, so that the next engage, they are at full health. And the Viper again lets the knights close the ranks. Hera here doing an amazing job. But like I said, these cav archers should be able to run circles. Lions. Lions everywhere on this map. The cav archers should be able to run circles around these knights just because of that extra 0.05 speed. Let's see what comes out of the darkness here for Hera. Will the Viper react in time? Oh, he's moving straight forward. Beautiful attack round from Hera, but only with 1 mangonel, it seems like. Beautiful attack now. The knights disengage. More cav archers. He is going full balls to the wall. Cav archers. Lion. Careful of the lion. Army supplies 27-7. The Viper is housed. Hera getting a +2 armor for his knights. Of course he is. He's up against a slew of cavalry archers. Our Vietnamese ahead in villagers. Our Vietnamese ahead in army supply. And now he's throwing in these light cav units to tank. Meat shield. Oh, what a terrible shot there for the Viper. But again, the knights close. The knights close. The knights chase. These cav archers not exactly enough to one-shot these knights now that they have armor. Oh no, oh no, oh no! Oh, such good attack rounds out of Hera. If that was an attack round. I think that must have been an attack round. Had he just right-clicked the last unit, I don't think it would have killed it. But look at this, what I'm talking about. The next engage, Hera's knights are going to be up to full strength, but the Vipers, look at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 units here that are below 50% HP. And this is what I mean by babysitting. It's such a simple thing, and you just love to see it. Oh, they're back. They're back this time with more upgrades with ballistics. These villagers don't stand a chance. Now look at the knights. Healed up, ready to re-engage. And this is the problem for the Goths. How do you stop? How do you keep these cav archers the hell out of your base? Oh, and now they're on the high ground as well. They have closed the gap here, but Mangonel's being left alone by the Viper. Surprised he's doing that. Hera doing as good a job as he can with a slower unit, but here we go. Finally, some light cav being added in here, going up to 12. And now I'm starting to get a little tiny bit worried for Hera, who loses all of his siege units and is down to 60 knights. I mean, his melee is better upgraded than the Viper's, but with this meat shield of light cav, he's got to be careful. Both players have to be careful. I don't even know who takes this fight. I mean, if they close, obviously the knights, but if they don't close, look at the Viper. He's being so annoying. The Viper, or the Mosquito in this case, just buzzing around these knights. Buzz, buzz, buzz goes the Viper. And now he's glommed up his entire army into one part of the map. 20 cav archers, 7 light cav, 3 more cav archers on the way. Army supply double that of the Goth. The Goth furiously building barracks. Hera knows he's got an opportunity here. Viper is disengaged. Viper's not engaging into this. But that's because he's bringing his own knights. A minute away from iron casting. Should he engage? I mean, obviously he's got double the army supply. Hera doing the best he can here, but oh no, now these units have not been healed. The babysitter couldn't make it tonight. Oh, this is a horrible, horrible area. Oh, what a bad engage for Hera. The Viper just shelling away at these knights from these safe positions, and even though the town center is here, and now the Viper's bringing a forward castle. Salt in the wound. Wow, Hera's army supply reset to 2. And now the Viper is free to ragdoll this base. He can do whatever the hell he wants. There is nowhere these cav archers cannot go. They don't care about this town center. They've got 2 pierce armor. They can go anywhere. I don't think the Viper cares about a few arrows. Lose 1, lose 2. It doesn't matter. Castle emergency going up for Hera. He's got to get this castle up. Viper's got to deny it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Remember I said one of the big weaknesses of the Goths, as everyone knows, if you can hit them before they hit you. Very sour loss for Hera. He was just a few minutes too late, although he was not an Imperial, so he did not research. Or sorry, no. He was in Castle. What was he researching here? Was he researching Anarchy? Yes, he was researching Anarchy. Once that completes, Huskarls come out of these 5 barracks, come out of this castle. But if Hera just literally, look at this, it was 85%, 86, 7, and he resigned. 13% away, mere seconds away. But look at his resources. How do you produce Huskarls with this resources? I mean, in Castle Age, they cost about 30 gold, which means he's got enough gold to build 4 of them, but enough food to build 2 or 3. I think they cost about 50 food in Castle. I think it's like 50-30, and then it goes down to 50-25 or something. I don't know the specifics. I don't have it off the top of my head. It's around like 50-55 food and 30 gold in Castle Age. Because remember, the Goth infantry do get progressively cheaper as the game goes on. Holy moly, what a game. I mean, I've said it before. I don't know why the Vietnamese have the lowest win rate in all of Age of Empires. I think, could he have completed this castle? No, 43%. How fast do these guys fire? 1.8. And you don't need all 23 firing on one villager. Viper could have used half and half. Yeah, I don't know why the Vietnamese have the lowest win rate. Is it because of some reason built into the Civ? They've got strong economic bonuses. They've got amazing ranged units. Their battle elephants are fantastic. Or is it just because, you know, in a game with 42 civs, some civs just have to be the losers, some have to be the winners? I think it might just be that. It might just be that, you know, there's always got to be a lowest ranked civ. I don't think there's any particular reason. I just can't imagine But in this case, holy moly, the Viper taking to heart the fact that you have to stop the Goth and Hera. I think he's literally 3 or 4 minutes away from hitting that Gothic stride. We saw recently when Hera as the Cuman tried to dislodge Dagao as the Poles. It's a similar premise. The Goths, like the Poles, really need time to get their economy up and running so that they can start getting their military industrial complex up and running. If this was 38 minutes, or rather 34 minutes in the game, and this existed 4 minutes ago, I think the Viper would have a very hard time dealing with Huskarls with, what is it? +1, so 7, right? 7 pierce armor against the unit that fires on an 8. But unfortunately for Hera, just like I said, mere minutes too late, and the Viper sweeps over him. 54 Cav Archers to 29 Knights. Peak APM literally 2 minutes ago for Hera. Middle of the game, early middle part of the game, but both players with above 200 economy. I can't see it being that different this early on. One relic only for Hera. Basically identical wood, basically identical food. Gold, about 1,700 more. Stone, though, for our Goth. Not quite an extra castle's worth, but 2/3 of a castle extra stone. And this, just so annoying. I mean, I mean, if you're the Goth, tell me, does this really scare you? With no, you know the player's not going to get murder holes because, they're allergic. So you start pumping out Huskarls, especially with Anarchy being completed seconds from now. But I think, yeah, look at his resources right before he died. Because in Capture Age, when you click at the end, it cancels all the upgrades and then adds the resources back. This is what his actual resources were right when he resigned. 118 gold, 150 food. And so even though he had a castle up, even though he's getting Anarchy, even though he's got these barracks up, now that the Viper's here with the Cav Archers, there is no way he's mining this gold. This gold is in jeopardy because this entire area is undefended. And where is his other gold? I don't think he has another gold. No, it's over here, completely nullified by the castle. So Hera's gold is now non-existent. He literally has 10 villagers on gold over here, and that's it. To the Viper's 28. And even though he's getting the upgrades up, I think, again, just a little bit too late. The Viper really Vipering it. I mean, I thought he should have been called the Mosquito this entire game instead of the Viper, the way he was using these Cav Archers to perfection, just buzzing around the Knights. Sometimes he would get caught out. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes Hera closed the distance. The Viper either not paying attention or just not microing as quickly as Hera. But he lost a bunch of Cav Archers. Hera technically has more military kills. Look at this. Hera hasn't killed a single villager of his opponent. The Viper has killed 21 because you're ranged. You're always going to kill more with ranged units than melee in terms of villagers. Because you can park them out here. You can park them, like I said, up here. And so the Viper just so damn quick this game. Oh, man. I don't like this expression, but I hear a lot of people always say the Viper is very greedy. He plays, he builds up his economy. He waits a little bit too long. He gathers his resources. And then when it's nice and safe, he comes out of his settlement and attacks. In this case, not at all. He struck lightning fast immediately. Man, those 11 scout cavalry units that were here. I mean, 4 villager kills at the start of the game, followed by that 11 scout. By the way, 11 scouts, enough food to go up to castle. So that delayed him significantly, but once he hit castle, oh mama, did he start producing these Cav Archers with that extra 10 HP on them, just made them able to take one more shot from the Knights, FYI, which just made them much tankier. One extra attack for a unit that attacks on a 1.8 means, actually, like, 1 second. Let's take a look at our Gothic, yeah. 1.8. means they're around for 1.8 seconds more, and they attack on a 1.8, which means you are giving these archers one extra volley because of that 20% extra HP, and that is just redonkulously powerful. And so, yeah, again, the Viper, super duper quick, manages to just steamroll over our Goth. Our Goth just minutes. Oh, it's so close and yet so far. For Hera, I feel so bad for him. He literally minutes away from being able to put up an insane defense like only the Goths can do from their barracks. An insane defense. But ultimately, it is the Viper. It is our Vietnamese in yellow who gets the W in an incredibly fun game. But truly, honestly, GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.